I like averaged like a 3.5 or something for a
Mm-hmm.
while. I got to Emerald 2, very close to Emerald 1, but then lately I've just been kind of feeling lost at some points.
Mm-hmm.
So I fell down to Emerald 3, and that's where I am right now. But
Mm-hmm.
just trying to like find my footing of a couple of games from like yesterday to where I feel like I just didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, like streaked pretty well and then streaking back down a little bit.
Right.
Couple bad games and then a couple of games where I really like flubbed up because I have a tendency of like if I don't know what I'm doing, trying to force something that isn't there, and then if I see if someone's forcing the same thing, then I'm just like lost.
Yeah. I think that's kind of like a common thing in TFT. Like with that, the advice that I can give is just like before you like decide in your mind that you are going to like really really hard commit to a line and like play a line, I would just say like be really really careful about like making that decision. And like you need to, before you commit to a line, like scout really really hard. Like I even had a game
Right.
yesterday where I was in a similar spot where like I decided to play Urgot reroll, and then like I scouted after and I was like, oh my god, like I am so like I just screwed this game up because I was like not like I was, kind of rusty a little bit getting back into it. And I'm like, if I
Yeah.
had scouted, like there's no way I would have committed myself to this line, or I would have played it like way different. And so
Yeah.
that's just the thing that you need to think about when you commit yourself to a line. Like usually before I, like start rolling for a reroll comp or something like that, I'll do a full lobby scout and see like, okay, is anyone else in this lobby like thinking about playing this line? And sometimes people like sometimes you can scout people stage 2 and it doesn't look like they're playing a line based on like the units they have or something like that. But like because their items or augments, they end up playing that line. So that's something to think about as well, where it can kind of just be like even looking at people's items can give you a really really good understanding of what line they are going to end up playing. So just something to keep in mind as well. But yeah, like the main thing is just making sure that you are not committing to a line um, before you have done like a full lobby scout and just seen like, okay, am I uncontested in this line? Because if you start rolling and you're contested, it's yeah, the game becomes very hard from then.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I think that's like the main thing that I'm going through. Like, if I kind of know what I'm doing at a certain point, like I was able to pull like a bunch of firsts in a row. But
Hmm.
then lately, when my augments aren't really aligning or I'm not too sure what to do, it's just like I know like I did not choose the best thing, but I just
Hmm.
also don't know what was the best thing. So
Yeah. So just feeling like you end up kind of like lost in the middle of the game, not knowing like what direction you should be going.
yeah, I have a couple of games like the VODs
Hmm.
to like go over where one game like I feel like I should have squeezed out maybe a top two, but I got a fifth instead.
Hmm.
And then the other one I was just like so dizzy, like I did not know what to do in the situation. So I feel like that one is also a decent one.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so
Sounds good.
should I just share my
Yep.
screen of
Yeah.
the VOD and then just go from there? All right.
Yep. Share screen works. Also, I forgot if I asked you in the first session, but is it cool if I record these sessions?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Um, and yeah, I can send you back the recording after so that like if you want to look over anything again, right here, let me pull this up. All right. Yep, I can see everything. Oh yeah, and the other thing I would say, just as far as like, like feeling a lot of like feeling lost in a game and stuff like that, is just kind of like I think some people try to overcook sometimes and like try to do some weird stuff. But like
Right.
if you just focus your game plan on like a few comps that you know how to play well, I think like that makes your game a lot easier. So just say like, okay, I'm gonna play like one of these 5 comps no matter what, or it doesn't even have to be 5. It can be one of like 3 comps no matter
Right.
what. Like if I have AD items, I'm gonna play like this one comp. If I have AP items, I'm gonna play this other comp. And just like having that base and like learning those comps really in depth, I think like can help a ton. Just because like it simplifies your game a lot. But okay, it's decent. Yeah, just kind of random start here. I would. Okay. This is. I love to yap about this, but like I would not sell that Maddie until we see what we get dropped from minions here. Because
Okay.
imagine there's like an orb for minions here that has like 2 Maddies in it, or like 2 like Stebs. Like then you really want to hold on to that Maddie. So like you know what I mean? Like Camille, like I mean she kind of synergizes. I mean she's an enforcer, so like maybe, but like it's just like I don't want to make that decision until I kind of have like max information, which in this
Yeah.
spot is like seeing everything that I'm getting from minions. So just something to keep in mind. Right now, as far as what you'd want to field, I mean, you almost have a decent family opener. You have Draven Pair, you have Vander, you have like BT as your items, you have a Powder, you're looking at this Ambusher opener, which like I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of, especially like after the nerfs to Camille. They did buff early Ambusher a little bit, but yeah, I just
I th- I
uh
think in my head right now I was trying to do like some sort of like academy flex to where like yeah, the first few rounds depending on what augments I get, like I would want to go academy, but here I think I saw rebel right away and I was just like, okay, I think I just gonna force it rebel because this I feel like this augment's actually pretty strong.
that
Even though I don't
augment
have that
is
many
yeah.
rebels, but
I mean, the augment is very good. My only concern is your items are really not that amazing for Rebel. Like, if we're gonna play Rebel from this spot, we don't have an obvious slam. Like, your most obvious slam with these items is like BT, and that's like just not
Mhm.
really something that does much in Rebels. I mean, it looks like there was someone who ended up in Family. Like, I would be more comfortable playing into something more AD from this spot, like a 4 emissary setup, which ended up it would probably have been like Wandering Trainer, and then you just see what you get. And
I
if you
see.
get forced into AP, it's kind of rough, but like it's life. But it's just like, yeah, like from here, like, yeah, we can play Rebel on this board for now. You're probably gonna want to make 10 here just because your board's not amazing. You're just putting Lux in as like your random +1 to play. I think that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think I was just like trying to think of what to do. I thought also maybe because I had my reforger, I might be able to luck out some items too, but I guess that's too like RNG based.
yeah, I mean you can always if you want to do that, you can always use the Reforger before you take Augment. But like I do feel like we
Mm,
have enough direction just making like BT. I mean, you would take like the line that I would take here is just take Wandering Trainer. Hopefully I get something that gives me some kind of like a AD, like, Enforcer +1 I can play for Vi, or like something that plays well with Emissary. I guess there's like a lot of random stuff you can fit in with that comp. Um
right.
but like the big issue here is like we just don't really have anything to slam early. Move items to Ziggs, which I like, slightly better unit. But yeah, like if you are gonna do this, I think you can pretty happily reforge sword. There's not much that you're that excited to use sword for in this comp.
Right.
I guess eventually you can use it for like M-Pesa. I mean, you could even just make BT here and say like I'm gonna play M-Pesa with Rebel Emblem later. Like she's a good holder of it. Um, I wouldn't actually mind
Yeah.
that. Maybe that's your best bet here, is like not even reforging, just making BT here, saying I'm gonna play Rebel Emblem Vesa. Yeah, I don't actually mind that. But like, I mean, you are at this point kind of committing to Lost Streak, which I don't like. You don't really have any 2 stars at this point. I do
Right.
think like once you get to some kind of board, you do want to be you want to be open to like slamming items, I guess.
Right.
When you get there, like I would even hold stuff like that Violet, like that could end up on your board just as a random like solid unit. Like just, yeah, keeping your options open as far as stuff like that goes. I'm down even. I want to make 20 here. You have 2 options. You could either sell the Ziggs and just not have a backline carry for now, or you could sell the second rel. I think I would just sell the Ziggs because we're on a 3 loss here. The second we find
Right.
a Vex, she's gonna come in. Like the Visionary obviously works well with Vex. You could even play Renata over Ziggs here just to get Visionary in. Probably like slightly better. But yeah, I think I would be fine just kind of like for just being comfortable like 5 lossing it in this spot here
Yeah.
with
I
this
do
board.
something I cooked way too hard now that I'm starting to remember this game,
Uh-huh.
but like it went I remember getting like so upset because I was trying to get more rebels on the board, but I couldn't find them.
Hmm.
And I think somebody else like just chose to go rebel out of nowhere, and I
Oh
just
yeah.
was like, "There's no way."
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah, yeah,
it's
I was
a
like,
classic situation. Yeah.
it was kind of awful.
I think you're looking for Rod off Carousel here, by the way. It's kind of not obvious. Because
Okay,
you're looking for tier here for like Shojin. But like weirdly enough, Zoe's best mana item is Gwinsu's. Like I think, people think she's an AP caster, so I'll build Shojin on her. It's solid. The nice thing about Gwinsu's is one, it'll delay your cast until Rebel procs usually, which means like you won't cast until after you're getting those extra stats from Rebel, which is really, really nice. And the other thing is like Rebel gives you attack speed that helps stack up the Gwinsus, and so like it then kind of makes it easier to get to like a lot of stacks by the end of a fight. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. Like yeah, I think this is like I see so many people do this, which is like it makes sense. You build Chojin on AP carry, but here your items could actually just be Gwinsu's BT, and I mean, you probably wouldn't. You would probably wait to slam until you see the next couple of fights. Like that's another thing that you should look at here. I wouldn't even
Hmm.
level in this spot. I think you could actually you go back to the start of the round. You could make 30 here. I'm pretty sure if you don't level in this spot, just not really caring about the Swains.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to sell Swain plus like Ziggs here, and then just like not have an item holder for a sec. But you're 3 loss anyway. I'm happy
Right.
to continue to play for loss streak in this spot. Like this board here, like yeah, you can just pretty easily play for 5 loss, and like it'd be a decently healthy 5 loss, and then you end up in a really
Right.
really good spot. Whereas like now, like we play this board, I'm really afraid like if we win this next fight, we are going to be so broke. If we win either of the next
Right.
2 fights, we're going to be so broke the entire game because we're not making 20 here, and we might like end up losing our loss streak. I mean, luckily this guy is, I mean, Trenchcoat, Edge of Night, Violets. I don't
Yeah.
think you're going to beat this, but like you run a pretty big risk of winning one of these fights, one of these next 2 fights with this board, especially by leveling to 5 and like playing all these units that like, yeah, like you could really shoot yourself in the foot here. We'll see what the next fight ends up looking like, but luckily this guy's board is, I mean, yeah, Trenchcoat Violet is just insane. Wait, what is he? Oh, he's yeah. I confused that icon with the one that gives you with Build a Bud for a second. I thought he was like
Yeah.
Build a Bud with that, but okay. So yeah, but like even stuff like mainly Aurelia too. It's just there's the guy in 8th place right now, 80 HP. There is a very high chance, like I don't know, we haven't scouted him, but if you scout him, there's a very high chance that you are going to beat him, which would be very bad for business here. And
Yeah. I
is
think
this
I
the
can actually
guy?
go against him now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the guy. He has Archangel slammed. I mean, he could even into you harder here and just like make sure that he's going to lose this fight, but he's probably not playing
I think
that
he
close
does.
attention. But
Yeah. I
I
think he
mean,
does
you
lose
should,
anyway.
yeah, you should still win this fight, like in general. But like he could make it like guaranteed that you would. I mean, you actually like kind of have the power in this spot to end him because he has to put like all these units, Renata and Singed and stuff on his board. Because he has this augment that like he needs them on his board to stack up the HP. But like see here,
Right.
like we win this fight. Winning this fight is we lose 2 gold for having streak here. I mean, we get 1 gold back, so like we're -1 gold this round. This round we would be continuing our streak, so we'd make another 2, so we're -3 gold. And then any round after this that we lose is another 3 gold for what would be a 6 loss streak here. So like winning this fight is at the best, or I guess like yeah, at its best it only costed you 3 gold. At its worst it's costing you like 6, 9, 12 gold or something like that, which can like
Right.
completely change your game. And it's also just like the early level as well, like ended up we instead of making 30 gold we ended up only making 10 gold, like so that was another like 2 gold that we lost out on.
Right. I could
um
be at like 40 or 50
yeah,
even
you could be
by
50 gold
now.
here easily. And 5 loss streak here, and then your game is like 10 times easier to play from this spot. Whereas now,
Yeah.
like you're just gonna be a bit poor throughout this entire game. You kind of, I mean, not luck out because it's pretty average to get some gold from Krugs, but if you got like 0 gold Krugs here, you would be like super doomed. Like you would just be, it'd be so hard to play out here. All right, items in this spot here. I'm looking at Static Shiv. I'm pretty happy to build to get some MR Shred here that we just kind of lack on our board right now. And like Thief's Gloves, I don't mind too much. You could reforge something if you really want to, but I'd be fine like moving the Swain back here, Static Shiv the Swain. Because yeah, you're looking at Last Whisper here.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm cooking.
I mean, the Last Whisper is for Ezreal, I guess, is the idea, but like I would,
I think
yeah,
so. Yeah.
no, go ahead.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, but like you would much rather, I would say, just prioritize. I mean, the majority of your damage is going to be from Zoe in this comp and is going to be magic damage. So just yeah, I think like maybe you just got like dizzy trying to figure out what the items were. Which fair enough. But yeah, like certainly you can make just Shiv here, I think is a better item. All right, this is another fight where like, if you're playing for loss streak, you can easily lose this fight. And then like
Right.
you could honestly get a really good loss out of this guy. And then that's another like 3 gold that we get by being on loss streak. At least we're stacking up a little bit of a win streak now. But I think like we could easily not have a bunch of items slammed, lose this fight, and you'd be really healthy 6 loss here because of how your other fights went. But okay. Next augment here. Okay, so we could go Lucky Gloves. My only fear with Lucky Gloves when I'm in spots like this is just like think about, okay, how many units can actually hold Lucky Gloves here? We don't have many tank items
Right.
built, so like we can throw Lucky Gloves onto a Lowy. We can't put it onto Zoe. The Last Whisper actually makes things harder here. If you had made Shiv, Lucky Gloves would be insane here because you'd have another glove, and you would have yeah, I mean, it would just be way better. But I do still
Hmm.
think from your other options, this is probably fine because like one buff, two bluff, you don't really want in this spot. I mean, I guess it's not horrible, but I don't know. Blue buff's not great in this comp. And then like invested, um, 82 HP. I don't know. I think this is probably the correct take here. You do just have to live with the fact that like you might end up I don't know in a slightly awkward spot here, just with like kind of like the items that you because like yeah, one of these is for sure going to go on. I would say like you're just probably gonna stay away from tank items this game, but it's just the awkward thing is the last whisper is like that kind of
Yeah.
wants to go into Ezreal, but you'd be really happy if you didn't have this last whisper. I mean, honestly, you could consider just reforging the last whisper. Maybe not right now, but like maybe once you get units that you want to put the TGs on, because then you could go TG Alawi and then TG Ezreal. I mean, I think you made the last whisper with the idea that it
Yeah.
would be like an item that you would play, but like I don't know if you drop me into this spot, I would feel fine. Also, oh my god, Ziggs is
Yeah, I
a
got
beast.
so lucky.
But I would actually be completely fine reforging Last Whisper here, so then the TG can go onto Ez, which is like would be kind of nice. But okay, so this is your board for now. Rolling on 6. You end up actually getting Silco, which is kind of funny. Um,
Yeah, that's where I started to cook randomly because I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So
you
I'm
should
like,
play
okay,
5 Rebel for sure. I'm fine doing this and then just cutting the Ziggs here for 5 Rebel. But 5 Rebel is
okay,
just I mean, it's a big spike, bigger even spike than just 2 Dominator. In general, you know, like a 5 trait is going to be better than like a 2
right.
trait. And like I'm pretty happy with this board with just Vex over Ziggs here, and then that's just the board. And like I think your board would actually be really, really solid. But here, like we're missing out on 5 Rebel, which like you know, like obviously 2 Dominator buffs up Silco, but 5 Rebel also buffs up Silco like about the same amount, maybe more, and you're getting that buff onto all your other Rebel units, which is the
Right.
really big thing here. So yeah, I would go for that. Though you probably always end up losing this fight. I mean, it's actually kind of, oh my god, it's so, oh my god,
It's just
the 8
hella
HP
lucky
Ziggs
twice.
wins. My god. Okay. Well, I would say then, I mean, this fight was really close. I would say 5 Rebel
So lucky.
would have won it even more decisively, but I mean, whatever. Okay. On carousel here, I'm looking at, like I said, still Static Shiv's a pretty good option. Just get your Amar Shred. Your Zoe items right now are Shojin JG, so you also kind of need a last item for Zoe, which could be some kind of like glove item. I mean, you could take I don't mind belts here with the hope that eventually we'll end up in guard breaker.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't. I think I screw up and I immediately just build like a redemption or Evan Shroud or some dumb thing. I
it's all
don't
good, all
remember.
good. I mean, like my issue with building redemption is like you're gonna end up in a spot here if you do build a redemption. I mean, we'll see. I mean, like I think it's a perfectly solid slam under like normal circumstances, but we're lucky gloves in this spot.
Right.
So like where are like you have to ask yourself the question at this point, like where are lucky gloves actually going to go here? I would also definitely level here. Almost always if I can level to
A
7 here and
trade.
keep 30 gold,
Yeah.
like and still have 30 gold, I go for it. And here you're on a 4 win streak and it's a level for 5 rebel, like it's a big spike. So I would
Right.
always level here. This guy's board does look kind of insane though, so we're gonna maybe, I don't know, maybe with 5 rebel we could win this. I mean, the Silco does a lot of work. It's just this Mbessa is very scary. Um, but yeah, I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I think you could win this fight with 5 rebel in. Like it's actually really, I mean, maybe win. Oh my god, Mbessa, the triple
No, that
Mbessa. Yeah, it's
yeah.
so close actually. I mean, yeah, this is definitely a 5 rebel diff. Like you easily win this with 5 rebel.
Okay.
It's like that would continue
Yeah.
your streak here. Then you'd be 5 streak. But yeah, the other thing that I was gonna say is just when you have lucky gloves, you kind of have to. Is Arel coming back, by the way, or is she just? Because Arel just disappeared. Hopefully, that's just
Oh yeah, yeah. I
a
was so confused.
maybe that's just
I
a
was like,
visual bug.
what happened?
Yeah.
Maybe I sold her by
No, you
accident.
definitely did not. I'm pretty sure she went off the board for lucky gloves and then never came back.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, she comes back at the start of the fight. If lucky gloves just deleted Arel, that is not very chill. I guess
No,
you
no,
have
no. I'm
another
pretty
one.
sure she does. I was like
Oh,
confused that
okay, yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I
You just
switched
okay. It's
them.
just graphical. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like,
I
what?
was like, where did she go?
Yeah.
And I
Um,
thought I sold her by accident or something.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just a mort dog almost sold her for you. But like you have to ask yourself like where are these lucky gloves going, and like I was fine. Like the reason I don't like building redemption is because I want one of these lucky gloves to be on a high priority unit, which is like a Lowy would be fine. You know, imagine this Warmogs
Right.
and Bramble is on a Lowy. Like that's fantastic for us. But now like we have two Zoe items built, we have one Lowy item built, we have one Ezreal item built. So now where are lucky gloves going to end up? Are they going to end up? I mean, like Jinx later, great, but you might not hit Jinx on your roll down.
Yeah.
And so then you're
Yeah.
going to have to put them onto like, and you also have the Rebel emblem that has to go onto an extra unit. So that unit can also not hold. So like our 2 4-cost Rebel carries, our 3-cost carry, and whatever our extra Rebel unit is in, like none of those can like happily hold TG in this spot. So now like you're kind of going to have to leave them on like Aurelia, on like a Kali, on like that kind of stuff. Unless you do hit Jinx, that would be really, really nice. But even then, you still like that only uses one of the lucky gloves. So yeah, you just when you take this augment, like it's really good when you have a lot of gloves like this. And I think like it was the best pick in your spot, but you do have to plan around it kind of carefully because like now
Right.
we're in an awkward spot where like we're probably gonna get pretty low value out of lucky gloves this game. Like this is gonna be like not really like a full prismatic value until we get to like Jinx, and then it'll feel like pretty good. But we'll see. You do end up like it ends up kind of working out because we do get all of these tank items here. So like, you know, now we can actually make 3-item Malawi, but it's still like now this last whisper starts to feel bad. But like I would really consider also getting rid of the last whisper. Also, I do not think you can level here at all. You 4-1 it here. We have 20 gold left. I think you're way too poor to 4-1 it. You can 4-2 it and roll a little bit next round.
Hmm.
But 4-1ing it, like you've only got 20 gold here. Like I would reserve 4-1 for when you are quite rich, and we are not that rich in this spot. We are like, yeah, we're like okay econ wise, but like definitely not rich enough that I'm happy 4-1ing it here.
Yeah.
Like you really want like at least like 40, maybe 50 gold here to be happy about 4-1ing it. And like if you're gonna level this round just to put in like random Nami on this board, like we're losing out on 5 gold of interest to and like 2 gold because we like over level a little bit because it's 4-1 instead of 4-2 because it's not like on interval to play like a
Right.
Nami on this board. Like I mean we would win this fight regardless. It looks like it's a little close. It's kind of close. Maybe you can make the call that Nami wins this fight, but still then you're losing 5 gold of interest to win one fight when we're not really on much of a win streak. So yeah, I just like it's gonna be tough for you to have the gold to be in the spot here.
Hmm.
I mean, Radiant Refactor. Once again, like if we had a unit, like if we had like, it got kind of awkward with our components here. If we had a
Yeah.
unit that I was really excited to Radiant TG, I think Radiant Refactor would be really nice. I mean, Piercing Lotus is actually Piercing Lotus is like kind of perfect here, so I'm fine taking that. I would hold on to the Ambessa. She's a decent +1 on this board, like 7 Rebel plus
Hmm.
Rebel Emblem Ambessa, just because like the Emissary bonus is nice. She's Quick Striker. Oh my god, we hit Silco too. I mean, you do have to make this here, and yeah, the Mord. Yeah, you do have to do this. Okay, you are
Yeah.
kind of cooking this game. I mean, you had to though. Like this is what you hit, and then now you actually
Yeah.
have someone you're pretty happy to Lucky Loves. Okay,
Right.
all right. I mean, like I think you did this roll down correctly. It's a really weird roll down here.
I
Um,
think in
mhm,
my head, what I was thinking is I saw this guy going rebel as well. So I was
mhm,
trying to jump the gun because he had patience study. So I saw he was already level 8. So I was afraid that he was going to start taking like Zoe's or something from me. So I was
mhm.
hoping to hit a Zoe instead of this keeping the Silco. But then I rolled this instead. And then that's where I was just like, okay, I guess I kind of have to go with this. But like this whole time in my head, I'm like, I need to get to 7 rebel, but
Mhm.
I don't think I ever make it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could you have 2 Reforgers. I mean, you could Reforge the Rebel emblem. You have 2 shots of hitting just anything takeable. So like Black Rose is takeable, Dominator is obviously really good, Sentinel is solid. Like there's actually a decent amount of stuff that you could take here and then like
Right.
be more interested in pivoting into a it's pretty risky, but it's 2 Reforgers and the fact that I want to reforge this LW because also this LW is just sitting on our bench. It feels so
Right.
bad that we're just sitting on this LW forever. But you could actually consider reforging the Rebel emblem here because like you don't really want to end up in this like Rebel Dominator board forever. Like it's going to fall off later. It's pretty good for now because you hit a 2-star 4 cost, you have a Mordekaiser. Like your board's good for now. I mean, I like how flexibly You played that roll down and just playing for the Silco too. Like you were way stronger here than you would have been if you had just like skipped that and said I need specifically Zoe. Um, but like you would prefer in this spot, honestly, like in the near future to get out of this rebel stuff to build a real like third item onto Silco here. Cause like if you're playing 5 rebel the whole game, then like
Right.
rebel spat is not really that much of an item. And it's also like, I mean, the only way that you are going to be really happy about playing 7 rebel. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you just hit everything here, like you could get there. You're gonna lose some traits. I mean, you lose like conquer and stuff. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, I mean, 7 rebel on this board. I mean, it's not so bad. But I mean, this is a spot where
I was
um
a bit upset.
yeah, I mean, what can we how many copies of stuff does he have? He's got Zoe
Uh,
2, and what
yeah,
else does he have? What how
let's
many
see if I
alloways
can.
does he have? Alawi 1. He's only got one Alawi and 3 Zoes out of the pool. Is anyone else holding them here? Cuz like if it's just
No,
this
I don't.
guy,
It's just that guy. I think
if it's just this guy, I think it's fine.
someone else I think had like some sets or something, but I think they were going like bruiser
Mhm.
or something weird. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, this is a weird spot, but it kind of is working out. You want heel cut here. You don't have heel cut yet. You could even take rod here. You could take like you're looking at gloves for like maybe another lucky gloves. Okay. I between these two, I would take rod for sure because like you lack heel cut in this spot, and I think you were like kind of close between the two of them. But yeah, you don't have heel
yeah.
cut built yet, right? So yeah, I also like the second that we got this, like the only reason to hold on to these other components, like the chain and the cloak here, is either to build like heel cut or to build. I mean, I don't know. It's really just to build heel cut. Like in your spot, I would actually feel fine making like another gargoyle, just because like you make spark here, but we don't need spark that much. We have whatchamacallit, the lotus
Oh yeah, the
augment
Sunder.
that's
Or
giving 20% already. You have 2 reforgers. I would 1,000,000% reforge. I would have reforged this LW at like 4-1.
yeah,
Just because like we're getting 0 value out of it. And like once again, like I mean we already have 20% Sunder here, and it's not like any of our units even really do much physical damage. So like we don't need it
yeah,
and we already have it. So like
yeah. I don't know
we
why I held on to these reforgers for so long.
yeah. If you're forged 100%, it hits these gloves, surely. Um, but yeah, like I mean, I guess
This
making
is
this.
insane.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, go so go. Oh, I mean that's rough. That is rough. I would hold on to stuff like Elise here, just because like I do think your final board. I mean, like you can keep the option open of pivoting into like Black Rose stuff, just because it does fit
Mhm.
like better with this board. And you don't really need that much gold here to roll.
I didn't
Third.
even know what I go for the anomaly here. I was thinking of just putting this on Silco, which I probably should have done to save money,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
I
it
don't
saves you
know if that's what I
money.
did.
It's not terrible. You have 20 gold. I think I would roll for something better. I mean, it has to be a Silco anomaly is the thing. It's just like he's already getting a decent amount of AP from Dominator and from Rebel here. Eh. I wonder how good Mage Armor is actually on Mordekaiser.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
was
taken it
thinking about
before.
it. You could see me
150.
thinking, and I was just like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking of taking this, and I was like,
Oh, I think
ugh.
I think this is the take. I like this here. The only thing is you are going to have to like work a little bit to get really good value out of it, but like you should hold stuff like the Vladimir. Like eventually you're gonna certainly get out of like a lot of these like your cap now is definitely not going to be 7 rebel is the idea, I guess. Like you want to, and like at that point I would say we can just reforge the rebel emblem. So like
Right.
on around minions, like once we start getting more stuff that we can play in, like you want to hold Vladimir, you want to get stuff like Swain in, who can just be like so many traits onto this board. You have the Rel already, who like I mean I guess you like it's either Swain or Rel. It can sometimes be both, I guess. But like you're already in Conquer in. But yeah, you just want to get all of the traits possible that you can get in, and like Vladimir, you can oftentimes have him be a triple trait, like stuff like Vladimir Garen on this
Oh yeah, this
board.
guy also had the Alawi's too. I forgot. This guy hit Alawi too as well.
Oh
So
yeah,
like,
so
I probably should have pivoted way off of Rebel.
yeah, for sure. I mean, at this point, you can just say like, okay, this is gonna be my board. You can hold Blitz as well here, but yeah, like I think you should hold a lot more of this stuff. Even Ziggs, you can fit like a Ziggs. Ziggs, Trundle, Elise, Scrap Dominator, and then Elise in. You get like Form Swapper in with Swain. Then like there's a lot of stuff that you can do here. It's like a lot harder to play out, but like this is what you should be playing for when you take this anomaly, and it
Right.
also works for you because like you don't like it's hard for you to hit all these rebel units because there's the like that guy who has a Zoe 2 and at least a Lowy 1, maybe a Lowy 2 at this point. The other guy who ends up hitting like a Lowy 2, like it's actually like really tough for you to play for this kind of stuff. And like also if you play
Hmm.
7 rebel, then you are getting out of like more stuff, like more good like
Right.
you're going lower down on the number of traits you have in, which means you're getting less value out of this anomaly. But yeah, I think
Right.
in this spot here, you're looking at Ezreal too, fun. But yeah, I think at this point here, you're looking at making Sunfire
I just hit
probably,
sell.
um,
Yeah.
Reforge. Actually, honestly, if you open this Anvil, Nashor's Sunfire would be insane. And then just get Rebel Emblem off Silco, Reforge Rebel Emblem plus Last Whisper, and then just try to play for as vertical as you can go here. I think you're trying to push 9 in this spot, which is pretty suspicious. You're 53 HP, I guess, but the scary thing is we don't have that much front line on this. We don't
Right.
really have a front line on this board. Like when I'm thinking about going 9, I'm usually thinking about, okay, do I have a strong enough front line and a strong enough back line here? And we have a strong enough back line for sure. We have Silco 2. We have Mordekaiser, who's like, I mean, he's damaged. So, he's kind of back line. Like, we have enough damage on this board. We don't really have enough front line on this board, though. We have, yeah, we're essentially like stuck. Although this guy dies. This is a 7 Rebel guy dying. So, like,
I'm
kind of
toxic
toxic,
sometimes.
a little
I'm sorry.
toxic. But I get it. I get it. But like now you're like, okay, I can play for Alawi. But like I still don't think at this point, like you have this Elise in shop as well. I would rather be playing towards this Elise board just because like you're gonna get 7 Rebel in here, which is like fine. But now this anomaly gives you damage amp for every like non-unique trait. You
Right.
have 3 in right now, which feels pretty not ideal. Um, but okay, so you were waiting for that guy to die. But like, you're skipping like stuff like, ooh, Silco 3 angle, maybe. But yeah, like you end up, skipping stuff. Oh my god, that is a lot of. I mean, maybe. There's a lot of people left in the pool. There's a lot of forecasts out. My god. Okay, why not Silco 3? But but yeah, like your anomaly is not getting. I mean, like almost any value,
Right.
and like the anomaly almost gave you an excuse to roll for the uncontested board, but now like you're still rolling for the board that I mean, now it's not contested because that guy died, but like,
Right.
I still think our board could have been stronger like sooner. Like we wouldn't have had to wait for him to die if we'd rolled for the other board. Though we do win this fight. I also don't know why we're sitting on these components this long. Like we should have made items at 5-1. Like it's
Right.
definitely if we're not gonna move Rebel Emblem, it's definitely Sunfire because we lack heal cut and then some kind of like random Ezreal item. Or it could be like I mean red buff Sunfire is not ideal, but whatever red or Sunfire plus like Giant Slayer or something. Okay. Warwick is so
It,
good on this board, but you actually like, I
yeah,
mean,
I think
yeah.
that's where I also am like I'm all rebelled out here, and then I
Mhm.
go get a Warwick, and I'm just like I don't know what to do, and I
Really,
think it's yeah I don't know what I decide, but I know it's the end of me.
yeah, it's actually tough. I don't mind doing what you do here and holding on to the Warwick because if you hit Zoe 2, you can get off of Silco at this point. I don't mind how you do this here. Just hold Warwick for now. I would not sell Warwick. I would hold Warwick. And then the second we find Zoe 2, then we can pivot off of Silco plus Mordekaiser, get Warwick in with like Lucky Loves, which sounds really good, and then get, some other +1 unit. Someone random on this board. I don't know, even Elise that we have in shop would be fine. Like I'd hold her over Nami. But that's probably what you do. Like just Warwick being able to execute units that like Zoe gets low, or eventually if you get like Jinx hits the entire board, and then like Warwick jumps to backline and like executes some units. Like it's so
Right.
nice.
I
Um,
think I
mhm.
think I got stuck too because I was like, oh man, I like put everything onto this Silco, and now I feel like stuck that I have to play both of them, and then I kind of like shoot myself in the foot even more.
Yeah, I mean the only way that like I would kind of like agree with how we're doing this is if like maybe we find one more Silco and then we're like, okay, our only out is Silco 3. But like if we don't find another Silco, we're still pretty far off.
Do I not go Jinx here? Why do I
Yeah, so
not
it's
go Jinx?
yeah,
That's
so
kind of
you're looking at a
crazy.
Lowy too. But yeah, I would just take Jinx here. It's double W, but I mean we have 2 Reforgers, so we can still
Yeah.
reforge those.
I
And
still
yeah,
haven't
like
reforged just all those items. That's kind of
yeah.
crazy.
And it's like it's pretty I think like it's pretty reasonable that you're just going to find a Lowy eventually. I mean, you could do maybe if Alawi's like super super contested, but Jinx is such a spike on this board. Like this board without Jinx versus this board with Jinx is really
Right.
like it's night and day. But okay, I guess this was your ideas. You wanted to build items onto. Okay, we just build everything and then full reforge. I mean, honestly, this reforge is not bad, but I don't know why reforge. Like Nash's is fine onto her.
Right.
Wait, and I kind of want the Sunfire. It's heal cut. We have no. Oh wow. I mean, these are pretty good items. But okay, and also we still have this anvil that I think maybe we forgot about. Okay, we got it. I mean, GS is fine. I mean, it's the only. I don't really think any of the other slams are good. So Giant Slayer. I mean, I'm not trying to make a death plate on Zoe. Yeah.
Right.
I
No,
would
you're
I would put
right.
it on Zoe here just because it's like triple item versus second item. Like you don't
Right.
really want to spread items out in general. But yeah, I mean at this point our board is just too weak to beat, especially people like this with a really insane board. So I mean,
Yeah, and then
yeah.
I do something crazy because I'm like mega tilted at this point. So
Yeah,
I
you
feel
just sell
like
stuff and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna roll for I mean, I think maybe if you found one more Silco, you could think about doing what you did here. Oh yeah, and then you just play double Silco on this board because you're. Yeah,
which
I
is
mean,
crazy. Yeah,
this
this is
feels
the
bad.
tilter, you
This
know.
feels bad. Yeah. This is unfortunate.
But I think I was cooked anyways because this guy had this like mega Elise. I mean, if I had Giant Slayer on Zoe, maybe
Yeah,
burn down.
I
But
mean, this fight's pretty close actually. I think even with. I mean, with your other board, this fight would at least be closer. Maybe you can get like a
with
fifth
the
because I
Rebel
mean,
stun
oh, you end up
too.
going fifth. Okay, not bad.
Yeah,
Um,
but again, I think this game I probably could have ended up top two.
oh yeah,
Like I
I agree.
think definitely with what I got, like if I pivoted a bit earlier or changed a little bit, then I might have had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I like that you had the like idea of like, okay, I have a Silco, I'm item holding him. You roll, find Silco too, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna play around Silco. Like I like that a lot. But I honestly think we could have taken it further, like I talked about. If Rebel is that contested, okay, who cares? I'm gonna like we skipped so many Elises and like Cassiopeias and stuff like that. Like our board very easily could have been like an insane kind of like Bronze for Life type board with like the anomaly that's kind of like budget Bronze for Life. With like Black Rose and Elise and Garen and all that kind of stuff, and we could have gotten to that board a lot faster because like I think
Right.
those units were a lot less contested. So yeah, I mean, and then like I don't know that last Whisper. I mean, it was kind of insane that we built that last Whisper 3-1, and then for like the majority of stage 4, the last Whisper was just sitting on our bench. Maybe you just got like kind of like dizzy with all the item components, which like I mean, it's hard. It's hard making items in TFT, but
Yeah.
that was not. We just played down a full item the entire stage 4, which obviously is a lot of HP.
Yeah. That's fair. And then this one I think I just lost pretty early.
Okay.
So it's like it won't be that much of a difference, but I think I just got lost in seeing what I wanted to do. I think I saw this Urgot early and I'm like, okay, I can
Argot
try to
game.
go for right.
Hmm.
And then I saw the Zyra, I'm like, okay, it's gotta be, right?
Okay, I
Um
don't know that it has to be, but
but I think I forced myself down the road and I don't know why I didn't try to get out of it.
yeah, yeah. I think that's like kind of a common thing for TFT players is to like see something like this and they're like, well, like you get on that one track mind, but
Right.
like I think it's always nice to take a step back and say like, okay, why do I think this has to be an Urgot game? And like I don't know, if you take an augment that forces you to play Urgot here, sure, why not? But like right now from your spot, I think it could be an Urgot game. We have pretty good components for it, but like we also have like Maddie pair here. Like we could also have just like a solid opener with that. Like I'd be pretty open here to selling Vex and I mean I definitely want to make 10 gold here, but I would also like I'd be open to I mean like you have Maddie 2 here, you have Steb here, like I would I would make I would make Maddie 2 here. And just like hold on to that opener. I mean, you could even play
Right.
a Maddie game here. You don't. I mean, you have Steadfast as your slam. But, like you could have even taken Bruiser +1 here, played Maddie into like Bruiser Twitch, and like would have been kind of chill. But okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, like I think in that spot, let's go back and look at augment selection because there are actually a lot of. I mean, none of these options are that bad. So like yeah, if we're holding on to Maddie 2, we have a pretty good odds of having a 4. Like we just need to find an extra bruiser, and then we could have like a 4 bruiser opener with Maddie. I think I'm fine with that. And then our items are pretty good to play into to Twitch as well. It would mean that we're like not slamming anything, but like I think bruiser Twitch is solid. It was like so broken, and now it's like solid enough. Clockwork
Right.
Accelerator, you never really want to take. I don't like this augment that much early. Scoreboard Scrapper's like fine, but also not amazing. I think Bruiser Crest with the Maddie's your best out here. You even have the sniper that you got as well, the Kog'Maw we could play
Right.
around. But yeah, so you end up rerolling this stuff and then going Scoreboard, Patient Study. I mean, Patient Study's like fine as well. It's not amazing.
Yeah.
Caretakers.
I
Yeah, I mean,
don't know why I was so. I think I was just like so on to like, all
guy, it's
right, I
got to
got
be.
this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I think like when you're thinking that it like has to be Urgot like this, I think you should really take a step back and just ask yourself, like, why do I think this game has to be an Urgot game? Because I think if you take a step back, the answer being because I found one Urgot is not sufficient, I guess. It's not a good enough answer that makes me like, okay, yeah, I would definitely play Urgot from here because I found one Urgot. So yeah. Also, you probably shouldn't even. I mean, you almost definitely shouldn't even level here. Your scoreboard scrapper, like you want to be losing these fights actually. Like you
Right.
could very easily lose this fight against this guy who is what doesn't kill you. Um, but now like we're actually strong enough that we're still a little close with the Maddie cast, but like she's not gonna kill your whole board. And we're gonna end up winning this fight. So like we're losing out on a round of scoreboard scrapper. Like we
Right.
actually bail this guy out as well because like this guy is also playing too strong of a board for his own good. Like he should be playing a weaker board with what doesn't kill you. But like yeah, we should be able to out int him here and lose this fight and just start getting scoreboard scrapper value because like you wanna the idea with
Right.
scoreboard scrapper is you want to lose. You want to stay in the bottom four for the most of the early game, get that early stacks, like those early stats stacked up, and then start winning in like mid game, like stage 3, later stage 3, and then
So I don't know why I don't take that GP.
yeah,
So weird.
I mean you can hold on to them for now, but yeah. But like this is also something. The second
Yeah.
I see this
Exactly.
guy, I'm like, there's no shot that I'm playing Urgot here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's fine. You have scoreboard scrapper, like you have not hard committed yourself to anything. But
Yeah, and and then I think I lose myself. I don't know what I try to do here. I
uh-huh.
just start buying units and
Hmm.
going a bit wild.
Yeah, just trying to figure out what like your idea is here. Like, what am I gonna play? Okay,
Then I
let's
think
make.
I was like, okay,
Oh,
yeah,
I mean,
maybe
what,
this isn't.
what we're gonna pivot to like quick striker reroll here or
Yeah.
something. I mean, you don't
Yeah, I
have to
think
play
that's what I
reroll from
had
your
in mind.
spot.
And then I think I saw someone else take Quick Striker or
Oh,
something, and I was just
God.
like mega tilted.
Yeah, but like you don't. I don't know. Maybe you're thinking that like you're taking scoreboard scrapper, you're getting this extra. Scoreboard scrapper. It's kind of unclear the way a lot of augments are worded, but scoreboard scrapper it benefits your future units that you field. Like you don't have to have this Trist in for the early game for her to get scoreboard scrapper value. Is I guess what I'm saying.
Right.
So like if it was the other way, then like yeah, this would be more of like a reroll type augment, but it's not. Like you can easily play fast 8 with this comp and then just full pivot your board and like play around that. So
Gotcha.
so
I don't know if
yeah.
I changed to doing that. I forget what I did in this game, but it made no sense to me while I
Yeah.
was playing it, and probably watching it back is probably like even gonna be worse. But
Yeah.
um,
I mean, take Cloak off Carousel here. I mean, Cloak's an okay component. I'd probably just take Belts here. It can be Sunfire. There's Scoreboard Scrapper. I would just like hold on to it, but there's like 3-cost spell that you could hold on to and just have that be your front line for a while. It's just like Cloak is, yeah. I mean, and it's not like we're like close to Chem Baron or anything. It's not like this gives us Chem Baron. I guess maybe you could keep that option open, but
I
like,
I think I took him because I thought he was like the most expensive. So I was just like, okay, let me just get money
I mean, yeah,
because
he's
like,
all right. It was a 2-cost belt, but I would just rather have belt here than cloak, just because like cloak is. I mean, I don't really know what we're playing this game, but
neither do I. And then I don't know why I put this Nami in while I already have a Trist. It's just
yeah.
mega cooks.
It's a little bit of a disaster. Yeah. I mean, also, I probably wouldn't even level here just because once again, you're trying to lose these fights ideally, and like I wouldn't slam gargoyle either. You really like this gargoyle item? I don't think it's very good. Like if you look at like high elo players' match histories and you just look at the items they build, they do not build
Hmm.
this gargoyle item very much. It's just not very good. I would stay away from building it. I think in sets
Okay.
pass. I mean, this is another fight that like we could have easily lost if we had just tried to lose. Um,
Right.
but yeah, like I think in sets past, this item has been good, but this set there's just really not that many units that you're like excited to put a gargoyle onto is the thing. So I would stay away from it. Like here, I don't know, you're holding onto Nambis and stuff. Like maybe you're thinking of playing like a emissary game. but like Garl's not good on Garen. Like you want to put him in the middle of units to get the his emissary bonus. So like you're not getting gargoyle value there. Something like we had the opportunity to make Sunfire here over gargoyle. Sunfire is like a trillion times better because it's heal
Yeah.
cut. It's like good onto Garen. Like it's all that kind of stuff. So yeah. But okay. So we lose this next fight. I mean, we're at least scrapping a little bit. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think you're a little bit mental boomed from the early game. But you just like seemed lost this game, which like I think
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of like uncomfortability playing around scoreboard scrapper because like you don't have to do all this crazy stuff and like force reroll from this spot. Like I
Mhm.
think it's fine to just play an okay early game, lose some fights, and then play for like 4 emissary from your spot. I think you would have been totally fine from that. Or like, I guess Twitch, but like emissary
Yeah.
is just
I
better.
think I think I just didn't know what to do for the early game after like my first plan just went out. Like
Hmm.
I think I just don't have knowledge of the lines that I would want to play like just that are strong early,
Hmm.
maybe. Because I think I was like, oh, if I get like enough quick strikers, I can just try to like roll four easy or something, and not four, but like just try to
Yeah.
get those on the board or something that's strong earlier. Um, and then I don't know why I level up here.
Yeah. I mean, you're like pre leveling here. I think it's fine just to pre pump a little bit in this spot. You make a W and like it'd be like BT or Sterax, both are solid. I'd probably make BT here just because it leaves the belt open for something like a Sunfire or Warmogs, which is better onto like in my head, make LW BT here. We play for we play for a 4 emissary game. Like we have the Trist and the like the Nabis and stuff already. Obviously get this Nami off the board so we're not too emissary here. And then just play any random unit. Pit Fighter would be good for Draven. And like your spot's not that bad. Like you're I think this game almost, I mean, certainly seems like more of a mental diff than like anything, where like
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like this game, like you're, I don't know, like you feel like you're like lost in your spot, but like at any point you can pivot this into like an okay spot. Like I said, just take the Nami off your board, play Draven, build those items, like you'd be fine. And your scoreboard scrap, you're like losing fights early. Like it's not that bad of a spot. Get Dark Alley dealings here. I mean, you should take this. It's Prismatic Pipeline's really good too, but like especially with the idea of playing for whatchamacallit for Ambessa here, you have Suspicious Trenchcoat, and you even made a Sterak's. Yeah, I like this take a lot. Sterak's plus Suspicious Trenchcoat is insane synergy here. So yeah, I mean like yeah, your spot's actually fine. If you just play a random 4 emissary game, I don't think you should commit yourself to try to play Quick Striker here, just because I mean you
Yeah,
can, but
I think I try
yeah,
to go four emissary, four quick striker or something, but
I
I
would
don't know
just play the
why I
more like
keep
default
Nami
version.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting the scoreboard scrapper value by losing, but
I, I
we'd
mean, I
probably
didn't
lose
even
this fight
take
anyway.
this Nocturne either. I don't know why. I think I want it. I have no. Yeah, I'm like totally mentally boomed.
Yeah. So like I think like these games, I don't know what your game was before this. I don't know. Maybe you had a bad game before this or something. And then
Hmm.
we go 7, and then we're like rolling it down. Okay, but also I mean, this game is pure tilt. Like you're like sending it to 0 here. We got the best built different board I've ever seen. Like we got all these forecasts in, but like why also? Oh, a Jace. That's pretty cool. Oh, can we get the Jace on overboard in time? We can. Nice. Um, but like also why are we level 7 gold here? Like, you're not that low. You're 67. You're actually pretty healthy here. Like, you can
Right.
definitely lose a few more fights. And, like, honestly, just 4-1 it with a bunch of gold this game. Like, if you lose 3 fights, worst case, you're like 30 HP. And because you have a Violet with a trench coat and a Sterax, like, you're going to win some fights already. So, this game is just pure tilt. I would say, like, I don't know, maybe you had, like, if you had, like, a bad game before this, like the thing I said about just, like taking breaks, like
Hmm.
yeah, I think would do wonders for I don't know, or if maybe this is just a game where you felt like really uncomfortable with the spot, and if that's the case, like I think you can also like I said, at any point in this early game, like obviously we made some mistakes, but like I think it's perfectly like salvageable at most spots in this early game. Like I said, that one round, like you can just cut the Nami, play Draven, and like your board's fine. Okay, and you take Garen here because, like, yeah, you want to play towards Emissary. Okay, so yeah, your idea is play Emissary this game, which I think is correct. But now we're 0 gold. We found a Jace, that's pretty cool, but like, it's gonna be a bit hard to have enough gold to actually find the board at this point. Um,
Yeah. I think
so
I like start just hard rolling for some reason. I forget. These fights are kind of like whatever.
I don't know if Trenchcoat's even better on Jace, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's better on Violets. She's
Yeah, I
just a
think I wanted to
monster.
get Garen in, even though I don't have Mbessa yet. So I don't. I guess I'm like super unfamiliar too at the point where like what Trenchcoat really does, and then I get this like trickster thing, and I put it on Nami because I don't know what it does. Um, and
It probably
then
it's like fine on. It's actually really good on Garen because you get like the second Garen will
amplify it as well.
yeah, it'll do the same
Yeah,
emissary thing. Um, so yeah, Titans also like not amazing. I don't know if you had an option because Edge of Night is the one that you're really looking for. Sterak's Edge of Night are the two items that have insane synergy with
gotcha.
Trenchcoat. So I probably would have just stayed off of making Titans and just tried to greed for Edge of Night. It's also like Titans not amazing with this thingy.
I also don't know why I went mana flow here. I think
Yeah, it's
because
it's rough. It's so rough. And like now we're
I
stuck on level 7 forever.
right
Like
and
eventually,
like
I don't know if we're ever gonna make it to 8 this game. Yeah.
no, I think I get cooked.
Yeah.
Um, I think in my head I was like, oh, I have some academies on the board. Maybe if I get one more, then I could start doing something. But I don't actually know.
Yeah, I
It
mean, it's the
was
problem with that is like your mana carries in Academy are going to be Heimerdinger and I guess Jace at this point. You have kind of Jace items, but I don't know. I don't really love like frontline Jace to itemize, but you definitely
right.
don't have any Heimerdinger items here, which is like the big issue. I guess if you high roll and find well, no, honestly, even if you high roll and find Jace pair, like I don't think it's even gonna do that much for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we
I
sold a Garen because you are tired of the fact that you've had two emissary in for this entire game. But like also we should probably just be playing the Garen here and just not play the Nami until we find
right.
um the other stuff. Yeah. Malzahar off
And I,
carousel for the random chance that we randomly find Malzahar 2 on or we can just play him right now with LW,
I have
JG.
no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit rough. I think your only hope at this point is send it to 0. Hopefully you high roll
Jace two
yeah, like a
or
Jace
Jace
2
or Mouse.
or a Malzahar 2 with a duplicator. And even
Yeah.
then, I still don't know if we go anything less than 8th. Like even if we have Jace 2 here, I'm pretty sure we're still going 8th with this board.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
before I sold that Garen, I think I saw like 4 Mbessas already on. So then I was just like in that mindset of like, there's no way I'm gonna hit an Mbessa. Let me just full pivot at 4-1 or something again. And I think that's just like mega cooked.
But like
But I
in that case,
mhm.
there's a Vi in shop. Like Vi is a good alternative. I mean, this is a spot where you could like look at stats and see like what Trenchcoat does good on. But
And then I
like,
have an
oh,
Mbessa.
there's the Ambessa. All right.
And
But
then
at
I'm
this point, it's
just
too late, and you're like, I
yeah,
can't even fit her back in. I mean,
exactly.
I would probably hold on to her, but you might be right. It's like it's a pretty far pivot to get back. You need to find like Trist as well. Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm going
You get
here
4
now.
Academy
I'm
in,
just
Pog.
like yeah, I think I'm just trying to like force it, and then I'm just like, there's nothing I can
Yeah, so this
do.
game I think is a good example of like what I was talking about, how like um sometimes people like when they try to play flex and stuff like this end up overcooking, and like I think you certainly would have done better this game just playing around that core of the 4 emissary board,
Mm-hmm.
slowly getting into that board. Like you don't have to like obviously if you don't have 4 emissary, don't play 4 emissary yet, because like don't play the 2 emissary or whatever, but just slowly get into that board and then just keep that idea in mind, and then like also knowing other versions of it that exist, like you can play for like Vi as the other holder of like all these items. Like Vi would be fantastic over this Jace. So we end up having like Vi 2 because we've been sitting on this duplicator forever. Like we definitely could have found
Yeah.
like a Vi 2. Or like Savika 2 is probably fine if we end up finding her, but like you can't count on that. But I think this game it was just one of those overcooked games, and so I would just say like just have your base comp be like the 4 emissary type stuff that like you can like get pretty comfortable with playing that a lot, and then like you can cook a little bit around it, but I mean, yeah, this is obviously a bit too far. Like, it's just, I mean, the board just is falling apart because we just don't really have. We finally got to frontline, I guess, but we don't really have backline here. Like, yeah, we
Right.
just it just doesn't really work. Just because, yeah, I mean, I think you were really really lost this game, which fair. But I would say like just playing a bit more around like the around that emissary board, and like even if you don't hit too many. Like you can find one best and stabilize on Violet, or not Violet, but Vi too. Like that's fantastic. Like you can do fine with that. Or if you end up hitting other stuff, you can make it work. But it's just like having
Right.
that base to play with, I think is good. And like I think the second that we're like playing Malzahar and like Jace on the board, but like also this game was already kind of doomed when we sent it at like 3-3. But I mean, I think the game was kind of doomed from, I mean, it wasn't doomed from stage two, but from how you were playing, it seemed doomed just because, I don't know, it seemed like you were not in a good
But
mental
yeah.
state this game. You were just like giga lost, which, it happens. But like, I think if a game like this happens, you just have to take a step back, not play for, a few minutes. Either just say like, okay, that's my last game of the day and not play at all, or at least take a step back and just like take a like 10-minute break or something, and then come back.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Um,
All right, cool. Got a couple minutes left. Any last minute questions?
I think one thing I guess that a concept that I'm trying to think of is like when I'm trying to like figure out, like you said, like play 4 emissaries or try to figure out like a comp to kind of play with. Like,
Hmm.
what do you recommend in terms of like trying to like learn a bit more about it in terms of like when I should level, when's a good time to maybe like commit a bit earlier or like things like that. Like, what
Yeah,
do
as
you
far as
think would be?
resources.
Yeah.
I think TFT Academy. I don't know if you use that. Their
No.
tier list is quite solid. Um, it's like it can be a little bit daunting because they have a lot of stuff here, and some of it is like conditional, and some of it's not. But like they usually have pretty good information around the comps. That's what I would recommend as like one singular guide. You can also look at stats websites like MetaTFT and Tactics.tools just to get like an idea of like what the good stuff is.
Right.
Like good items, and you used to be able to look at augments, but you can't look at augment stats anymore. But yeah, I like one single resource I would say just clicking into if you've never played a comp before, clicking into the comp on TFT Academy will give you a ton of information.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've never been on this site, so it'd probably be a good idea to look around. It also has like augment and item tier list, which probably would be super helpful to see
Yep.
because I feel like sometimes I don't even know what items do.
Oh yeah, it's.
Um,
I mean, and like there are item tier lists, like you know, Edge of Night C tier, like Gunblade C tier. Like there are times when these items are fantastic. So don't let the
right,
item tier list like bait you into like never building those items. But
right,
I do
right.
agree that like like the fact that like this game you made a gargoyle instead of a sunfire. Like in general, you should be way more excited to build a sunfire than like a gargoyle. So it's like
Right.
it's good to give you like a general sense of where the items are at, but like don't like let
Yeah,
it
I
stop
think
you from building
especially
stuff.
like for that first game where I just wasn't sure what items to build, even though I had items. Like even if I have 2 reforgers at that point too, it might just be better to build items that are like genuinely like just better or good rather than just trying to throw things on just because I think I need them.
For sure. For sure. Awesome. Okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah, hopefully this is helpful.
Yep, hopefully. But thank you so much and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I'll talk to you later.